Project Zomboid can be a rather confusing game, especially when it comes to mechanics, but just like in our other videos, we have you covered. Hey, I'm Sobi, and in today's video is going to be the PZ Ultimate New Beginner's Guide to Mechanics. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all the new PZ content and beginner's guides that we have coming to the channel. But with that out of the way, let's jump in. So while getting your first car and maintaining it might seem like an overwhelming task, it's actually rather simple. So let's start out by talking about how to obtain your first vehicle. So the first option is to obtain the key. Keys can be found sometimes just sitting on the ground near a vehicle, so when you're out looting, keep your eyes peeled for keys that might be lying about. If the door is unlocked, then you can get inside and search said vehicle for the keys, as they can sometimes be in the ignition or even in the glove box. Searching nearby homes can also grant you a key, as they sometimes spawn inside storage containers, and occasionally the undead owner of the vehicle might be near, and if you happen to kill the owner and search the body, you might find the key here as well. Now, if you're having no luck finding any keys, or you just want a specific vehicle, you can hotwire them, and once you've done so, you can use the car freely without having to have the key. In order to hotwire a vehicle, your character must possess the skill of Electrical 1 and Mechanics Level 2. Now, there is the potential to skip having to level that if you choose the burglar profession, as they can hotwire cars automatically. If you did not go with that profession, in order to quickly level these two skills, be sure to read the Beginner's Guide to Mechanics and Electrical in-game, as they will get you an experience boost of times 3. For leveling up electrical, you can dismantle many different items. However, these are some of the easiest to find. Digital watches can be easily found in many corpses of the undead. You can also dismantle lamps found throughout the game. Many of the mini hotels or regular hotels should have plenty of these to get you that first level. You can also find lamps in homes if you're not located near a hotel. We will leave a link to an interactive map that should help you locate these. For leveling your mechanics early on, you can remove the headlights, battery, and even the radio, and you only need a screwdriver and to right click on that part. To access the vehicle mechanics window, press V near the car to bring up the radio menu. Once you have them removed, just reinstall them, but remember, this only works on a vehicle to get you experience once every 24 hours, so be sure to look at the time that you do so. Again, you must wait a full 24 hours before trying to attempt to remove and reinstall these parts again. Doing so early will negate any experience you might be able to get from that vehicle for another full 24 hours. It shouldn't take long to get a couple of levels if you're hitting multiple vehicles daily, so when grinding for those first 2 levels, find a parking lot with multiple vehicles and try to return here daily. Just remember that anytime you pop that hood, make sure there are no zombies in your area before doing so, as your sightline will be severely limited. Now, if you happen to have a lug wrench and a jack, you can remove and reinstall the tires as well, getting you even more experience. Now, when removing and reinstalling tires, you do have a small chance to fail. This is not as bad as it sounds. If you happen to fail, then you still get the experience, and this can be repeated multiple times on the same vehicle. For example, if I was to try and remove the tires and fail doing so, and I do it again and still fail, then I still get the experience for both failed attempts. The same goes for reinstalling. The only drawback from this is that if you fail, it does generate some noise and can attract any nearby threats. Also, parts can become damaged when removed or installed, so keep that in mind if you're trying to use a certain vehicle. You can negate the possibility of this with higher mechanic levels though. If you happen to be near a mechanic shop, be sure to check this location out. Here you can find many different tools to help you in the future, such as lug wrenches, battery chargers, tire pumps, jacks, and even spare parts used for repair. Lug wrenches and jacks can also sometimes be located in the trunks of cars. They can also be found in homes and garages. Let's quickly talk about the tools and what they do. Jack, used to access the tires, suspension, and brakes. Lug wrench is used to remove tires, which also allows access to brakes and suspension. Tire pump, this inflates your tires. Car battery charger, this one's pretty self-explanatory. Wrench, used to remove large parts such as hoods, trunk lids, and doors, and the screwdriver removes small parts, batteries, windows, and radios. Moving on, if you look through the mechanics menu, some parts will require higher skill level and knowledge of each vehicle type, which are standard, heavy duty, and sports models. If you go into the profession of mechanic, you will already have access to this knowledge. If not, to unlock, you must read the lanes auto manuals for the various types. This can be located around the map in various homes, but your best chance of finding them is in a bookstore or anywhere that has a lot of books, such as a school. Now, keep in mind that while some parts can be interchangeable between different vehicles, they must also be from the same type of vehicle. So don't expect to take a window from a sports car and try to put it in a standard vehicle. Now, let's get to know your car. From the driver's seat, you're going to have the dash menu. Here you can start the car if you have the key in your inventory, or the ignition by pressing the engine icon, or by pressing W on your keyboard. Here you can also see various other icons such as battery, door locks, headlights, heater, and your air conditioner, and the trunk lock. You might notice the color of each can change depending on condition. Gray is off, green is working, orange is starting, and red is broken or disabled. Now, when inside the vehicle, you can gain access again by pressing the V key to bring up another radio menu, but you can also use your keyboard for most of these options as well. Pressing N will start the engine and shut off the engine. W will start the engine. Use E to enter and exit. F will turn off and on the headlights. O will bring up the heater controls, and U will bring up the mechanics menu. And be careful not to press Q unless you want to alert any nearby zombies, as this will sound the horn. Oh, and quick note, anytime you turn the car off, be sure to also turn off the headlights, as this will drain the battery, and nothing is worse than getting back to your car and not being able to start it. Let's move on to driving. Use WASD to move and steer the vehicle. Be sure to not hit anything if possible, as this can damage the vehicle, causing it to shut off or even render it useless. Keep an eye on the condition of the hood, as once it's fully degraded, your engine will start to take damage. The lower the quality of the engine, the more likely it is to fail, and it also becomes louder, attracting more unwanted attention. The muffler can also make your vehicle louder or quieter by a small amount. As far as the trunk goes, the lower quality, the higher the chance of losing items from the trunk, and the carrying capacity of the trunk also lowers. If the windows or doors break, then zombies will have a really easy time getting to you and might end your run rather quickly. Speaking of windows, you can smash a window to gain access to the interior, but this is not suggested if you want to take the vehicle for personal use. But if you want to do so, just be sure to replace the window as soon as possible. Now, when out and about, if you plan on driving through the same location multiple times, we would recommend that any wrecks you come across you remove from the road. You can do so in a couple of different ways. The first is to back up to the wreck and get out of your vehicle and use the option in your radio menu to attach. This will allow you to pull the vehicle out of the way. If that's not an option, you have a welder's mask and a propane torch. You can dismantle the vehicle, removing it from the game entirely. Let's talk about fuel. So refueling your vehicle, rather easy. You can drive up to a gas or petrol station and park next to the pump and press V and select refuel. Keep in mind that these stations require power to work, so if the power is out, then you need to have a generator that already has fuel up and running to do so. We recommend that you do this as soon as possible after starting your game. You can also find gas cans out in the world and fill these for gas transport and even siphon gas from other vehicles. Well, there you have it, the PZ Ultimate New Beginner's Guide to Mechanics. If you made it this far in the video and you learned something, be sure to hit the like button, as it helps us grow and reach a broader audience, and we really do appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing to stay up to date with any new beginner guides or other content regarding PZ we have coming to the channel. Now we want to know, what do you think of this guide? Do you have any questions that we might be able to answer? If you've been playing the game for a while and would like to add anything that we missed, be sure to leave it in the comments down below. Also, if you want to hang out with us and chat live as we play PZ, be sure to come and join us over on our Twitch channel. We love hanging out with our community and would love to see you there. This is Sobi. See you guys next time.